All right, friends, picture this with me. It's a cool September morning, the kind that makes you breathe a little deeper around the neighborhood. Most gardens are fading, leaves are curling, colors are dulling, but yours is a masterpiece in motion. Splashes of deep purple blazing orange and golden yellow. Dancing in the breeze, bees hum like a gentle choir. Butterflies float lazily between blooms, and you're there with a warm cup of coffee smiling, because you know you've tapped into a secret most gardeners never discover. Today I'm going to share not just 12, but 15 perennials that can keep your garden thriving right through late summer and into fall. These are the workhorses that shine when others are winding down the showstoppers, that return stronger every year, no matter your age, energy level, or gardening style. So if you've ever believed fall was the end of the gardening season, stay with me, because we're about to change that. And while you're here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, so you never miss the tips, tricks, and inspiration that keep your garden blooming beautifully all year long. 1. New England Aster, the crown jewel of late summer when the days start to shorten and most gardens begin to fade. The New England Aster steps into the spotlight. Picture thousands of tiny, star-shaped purple blooms lighting up your garden from late August, clear through mid-October. It's like having your very own display of purple fireworks that never burn out. Here's my little secret. Learned over many years of trial and error, pinch them back in early July. It might feel strange to cut a healthy plant, but trust me, this simple step encourages bushier growth and far more flowers. When they finally open, the impact is nothing short of breathtaking. I like to plant mine in the middle or back of the border where their tall, sturdy stems, about 3 to 4 feet, can rise behind shorter companions. And if you love wildlife as much as I do, you'll be delighted to know they're a monarch butterfly magnet during migration. There's nothing quite like sipping your morning coffee while watching these graceful travelers feast on your blooms. It's beauty with purpose, exactly what a full garden should be. 2 Autumn Joy sedum beauty that changes with the seasons. If there's one plant that knows how to put on a show all year, it's the Autumn Joy sedum. In summer, its buds start as a soft, pale green, quietly waiting for their turn in the spotlight. By early fall, they warm into a cotton candy pink, adding a gentle sweetness to your borders. And just when you think they've peaked late, fall transforms them into a rich bronze, a color that glows in the slanting autumn sun. Even in winter, they refuse to fade into the background. Standing tall, their dried flower heads catch the snow and frost, turning into delicate garden sculptures. The best part they ask for. So little low-maintenance, drought-tolerant, and a favorite perch for birds searching for seeds for gardeners who want maximum beauty with minimal effort. This is a plant that gives back far more than it takes. It's like having a faithful friend in the garden, always there, always looking good, and always lifting your spirits. No matter the season 3, full blooming anemone, the ballerina of the autumn garden when the bold colors of fall start to take center stage. The full-blooming anemone steps in with a softer kind of beauty. Their light, airy petals in shades of pink or pure white seem to dance on the breeze, bringing a sense of grace and movement that feels almost magical. They have a way of catching the morning light that makes your garden feel alive. Even on the crispest days, these blooms thrive in morning sun and gentle dappled shade, making them perfect for those tricky spots under mature trees or along the east side of your home. Give them time to settle in and naturalize, and soon they'll weave their charm through your shady corners, returning year after year. I've always thought of them as the quiet companions in a garden, never loud, never demanding, yet unforgettable. Once you've seen them in their prime, they remind us that sometimes the most beautiful moments are the gentle ones that invite us to slow down and look a little closer. 4. Hardy garden mums, the true autumn classics. When most people think of mums, they picture those short-lived grocery store pots that fade in just a couple of weeks. But the hardy garden mum is a whole different story. These are true perennials that come back year after year, each time fuller, stronger, and bursting with even more blooms than before. Planted in spring, they have months to settle in and will reward you with a spectacular full display. But even if you're planting them now, don't worry. Just give them deep, consistent watering to help them take root. The payoff: weeks, sometimes months of color in rich reds, sunny yellows, and soft pinks that brighten up any corner of your garden. I've had mums that have been with me for over a decade, each, full reminding me that some plants truly get better with age. They're proof that in gardening, as in life, patience and care can turn something ordinary into something extraordinary. Young 5 Russian. Sage, the silvery star of late summer. There's something almost magical about Russian sage. When the light of September hits it, the silvery foliage shimmers like morning frost, and those soft lavender blooms create a haze of color that feels both calming and elegant. It's a plant that seems to gather beauty as the season goes on, looking its absolute best just when many others are starting to fade. One of the reasons I treasure Russian sage is how effortlessly it thrives in heat and drought. It asks for so little, yet it gives back in abundance. I often plant it as a graceful backdrop behind bold perennials or in wide mass plantings, where it can sway in the breeze and create a dreamy flowing effect. And here's a little joy that never gets old. The aromatic foliage, brush your hand through it, and you'll release a fresh, soothing scent that lingers. It's a reminder that gardens aren't just for the eyes, but for all the senses, especially in the quiet beauty of late summer 6, Helenium Autumn's own color palette. If I had to paint autumn with a single brush, I'd dip it into the colors of Helenium. Rich gold, warm copper, and deep crimson seem to capture the very essence of the season. These cheerful daisy-like blooms arrive when the garden needs a final burst of energy, and they don't hold back for the best display. I like to pinch them back in early summer, encouraging bushier growth and even more flowers. When they're in full bloom, they're a joy to cut and bring indoors, filling vases with the warm tones of late summer sunsets. And in the garden, the pollinators know exactly where to find them. You'll see bees and butterflies flocking like old friends coming home. Helenium reminds me that a garden isn't just about colors. It's about life movement and the connections we make with nature. Plant them once, and they'll return each year to remind you that autumn's beauty can be as lively and abundant as spring's 7. Toad lily, the orchid of the autumn shade, just when most shady corners start to fall silent, the toad lily steps in with an exotic whisper of beauty. Its blooms, shaped like delicate tiny orchids and speckled in shades of purple, open in late August and carry on well into October, giving your garden a touch of elegance when it's least expected. I've always loved how this plant brings life to spots that many gardeners overlook. Nestle it under trees along a north-facing wall or in a woodland garden, and it will reward you year after year. The arching stems create a graceful shape, while the flowers invite you to lean in for a closer look, almost like they're sharing a quiet secret. The toad lily is a gentle reminder that beauty often thrives in the calm and quiet places, and sometimes the most captivating moments in a garden aren't the loud, showy displays, but the soft, intricate details that surprise you when you slow down. 8 goldenrod, a golden gift for wildlife and gardeners. The sight of goldenrod in bloom is like a burst of sunshine in the garden, a warm glow that carries you right into autumn. Forget the old, weedy image. Modern cultivars like Fireworks and Little Lemon are compact, neat, and every bit as beautiful as they are useful. Their masses of golden blooms are a pollinator, powerhouse, drawing in monarchs, bees, and beneficial insects. When food sources are growing scarce, I've often stood and watched a single plant buzzing with life. Each visitor a reminder that our gardens are part of something bigger. Planting goldenrod isn't just about adding color. It's about providing critical late-season nectar for the creatures that keep our ecosystems healthy. And the best part, these beauties thrive in, average to even poor soil, asking for little more than full sun. Once you plant them, they'll quietly return each year, lighting up your garden and filling it with life, long after summer has said its goodbyes. 9. Vernonia, the purple giant of the fall garden. When you want a plant that makes a statement, Vernonia or ironweed delivers in grand style, standing tall and proud. It's absolutely covered in rich purple blooms that seem to glow in the late summer sun. I've seen a single clump draw in dozens of butterflies at once, their wings fluttering like living jewels against the vibrant flowers. This is a plant made for the back of borders or open naturalized spaces where its height can create a dramatic backdrop. It's tough, too. Once established, it handles heat, wind, and variable soil, without complaint returning each year. Bigger and better to me. Vernonia is more than just a bold accent. It's a reminder of the wild beauty that thrives when we give it room. Plant it once, and every fall, you'll be treated to a purple spectacle that not only turns heads, but also sustains the wildlife that depends on late-season blooms. 10 Aromatic aster. A lavender cloud in the fall garden. As September deepens, the aromatic aster comes alive, covering itself in a soft cloud of lavender blooms so dense that the foliage nearly disappears from a distance. It looks like a gentle purple mist has settled over the garden, drawing the eye and holding it there. What makes this plant so endearing is how little it asks in return. Low maintenance and drought tolerant. It's a dependable friend in the landscape, returning year after year without fuss, and just when many plants have stopped blooming, it's still busy attracting late-season pollinators, offering bees and butterflies a much-needed feast before winter sets in. There's a quiet joy in planting something that thrives with such ease, yet gives back so generously. The aromatic aster is proof that beauty doesn't have to be complicated. It just needs the right place and a gardener's care to truly shine. 11 Boltonia, the white cloud of late summer. There's something almost dreamlike about Boltonia. When it's in full bloom from late August into fall, it covers itself in a soft, airy cloud of white daisy, like flowers that seem to float above the garden in a breeze. The whole plant sways gently, adding a touch of movement that makes your garden feel alive. I love using Boltonia in cottage-style borders where its billowy form can weave between other perennials, softening edges and filling gaps with grace. And it's not just a garden beauty, its blooms make excellent cut flowers lasting for weeks. Indoors and bringing a little piece of that late summer light to your table. It's a plant that asks for very little, yet rewards you with abundance. For me, Boltonia is a reminder that sometimes the most magical moments in gardening come from the simplest, most unassuming plants, the ones that quietly make everything around them more beautiful. 12 Turtlehead, a quirky jewel for shady, moist corners. The turtlehead is one of those plants that always makes visitors lean in for a closer look. Its unusual turtle-shaped blooms in soft pink or crisp white add a playful yet elegant touch to the late summer garden. These blossoms appear just when many other plants are starting to slow down, carrying the season's beauty. Well into early fall, this is a plant that truly shines in moist, partially shaded areas along stream banks, in rain gardens, or tucked into naturally damp spots where other perennials struggle. And beyond its charm, it plays an important role in nature, serving as a host plant for rare butterflies like the Baltimore checker spot. For me, Turtlehead is a reminder that gardening is about more than just color and shape. It's about creating spaces where beauty and wildlife can thrive together. Plant it once, give it the right home, and it will quietly return each year, a small but vital part of your garden's living story. Teen Japanese anemone, Honorine Joubert, a moonlit beauty. The Japanese anemone. Honorine Joubert is one of those plants that feels almost magical, especially in the quiet hours of evening. Its pure white blooms with golden centers seem to catch and hold the fading light, glowing softly in the dusk, like little garden lanterns in a moon garden or on a shady patio. They create an atmosphere that feels calm, romantic, and timeless. This variety thrives in partial shade, making it a wonderful choice for spots where bright colors can sometimes feel too harsh. Over time, it will naturalize, gracefully weaving gentle drifts of white among your other plants. For me, Honorine Joubert is proof that elegance doesn't have to shout to be noticed. It offers a quiet beauty that invites you to pause, take a breath, and simply enjoy the moment. A reminder that some of the best rewards in gardening come when we slow down and let the light do the work. 15. Caryopteris. The cool blue of late summer when the heat of summer begins to soften into autumn. Caryopteris, often called Bluebeard, steps in with a refreshing splash of intense blue blooms. Its compact shrub-like form makes it easy to tuck into borders or even containers where it adds a cool, calming contrast to the warm golds, oranges, and reds of fall. This hardy perennial is drought-tolerant once established, making it a wonderful choice for gardeners who want beauty without high maintenance. And if you enjoy supporting pollinators, you'll love watching the bees swarm to it sometimes, so many that the plant seems to hum with life. For me, Caryopteris is like a deep breath at the end of summer, a plant that balances the season's warmth with a touch of serenity. It reminds us that a garden is not just about bold statements, but also about harmony, where every color and bloom has its perfect place in the symphony of the year. Teen, sedum, Matrona, elegance with a touch of drama. If you love autumn joy, you'll be enchanted by its taller, more dramatic cousin sedum, Matrona, with striking burgundy stems that rise above the foliage and clusters of dusty, pink blooms. It adds both height and elegance to your late-season borders. This plant knows how to stand tall without overpowering, offering a graceful vertical accent that ties a planting together like other sedums. It thrives in full sun and well-drained soil. For little but rewarding you with months of interest, the blooms deepen in color as autumn progresses, and even after they fade, the seed heads provide structure and winter beauty for me. Sedum Matrona is like the finishing note in a beautiful song. It may come later in the season, but it leaves a lasting impression. It's a plant that proves a garden can be both strong and refined, even in the final golden days of the year. Designing and caring for a late-season masterpiece, a truly stunning late summer and fall garden is all about layering heights and staggering bloom times, so there's always something stealing the show. Picture it like a stage production in the front. You have your cheerful openers, sedums, compact helenium, and turtlehead, bringing instant color and texture. The middle is where the main story unfolds with New England aster mums and aromatic aster, taking the spotlight, and in the back, the tall stars, Vernonia, Boltonia, and Goldenrod, rise like a grand backdrop, framing the entire scene. The magic deepens when you plan your timing. August starts with sedum goldenrod and New England aster. September brings the elegance of anemone helenium, hardy mums, and toad lily. Then, October finishes with the boldness of Vernonia, aromatic aster, Boltonia, and Caryopteris. Caring for this beauty is simpler than you might think. In the first year, water well to help them settle in. After that, most will thrive on rainfall alone. Come spring, just cut back. Old stems divide if they get crowded and skip heavy fertilizing. Many of these bloom better in lean soil. A little planning now will reward you with a garden that feels like a living painting for years to come. So if you've ever looked at your garden in late summer and thought, Well, I guess that's it. Until spring, I hope today's list has shown you a different path with the right perennials. You can have a yard that not only holds its beauty, but reaches its peak, just as the air turns crisp and the leaves begin to change. Remember, you don't have to overhaul everything at once. Start small. 3 plants that make your heart happy. Plant them. Now watch them settle in. And then next year, add a few more. Before you know it, your garden will be that unexpected burst of color when the rest of the neighborhood has gone quiet. And when folks stop by admiring your blooms and asking how you do it, you can smile and share your little secret or keep it between you and the butterflies, because gardening at its heart is about hope, patience, and joy that deepens with time. And for those of us who've been tending the soil for years, we know that's the most beautiful harvest of all.